Saludos. So, when you're starting to learn Spanish, there are a number of things that you're well advised to just go ahead and memorize and not worry too much about, well, wait a minute, why do we say it this way? Why do we use this word? Why is it this form? Just memorize them. They're things that you need to know, and they don't necessarily make sense. They certainly don't make sense if you try to translate them literally. But they're things that you need to be aware of. So today we're going to start off with el tiempo, the weather. And some of you are already thinking, wait a minute, doesn't tiempo mean time? Yes, it can mean time in some circumstances, but it's also the weather, what the sky does to us. So we're going to talk about el tiempo. This is a vocabulary-heavy lesson, but you don't have to memorize everything all at once. You know, maybe you live in Germany and tornadoes and hurricanes are not things that you're going to have to deal with. You're certainly not going to have to deal with them when visiting Spain or, I don't know, Patagonia, perhaps. So, first of all, the questions that you might ask about the weather. ¿Qué tiempo hace? ¿Qué tiempo hace? What is the weather like? And you could add more to it. You could say, ¿Qué tiempo hace por la mañana, in the morning? ¿Qué tiempo hace en el otoño, in the fall? The two little suggestions that I have for you for today are ¿Qué tiempo hace hoy? What's the weather like today? ¿Qué tiempo hace hoy? Or ¿Qué tiempo hace ahora? What's the weather like now? ¿Qué tiempo hace ahora? And we're going to spend the next several minutes learning to answer that question. Whatever form it is, doesn't matter. ¿Qué tiempo hace? You might also be asked at some point, ¿Cuál es la temperatura? Again, don't worry about why it's sometimes ¿qué and sometimes ¿cuál? We'll talk about that at some point in the future. I'm sure I'll make a video. But if you hear someone ask, ¿Cuál es la temperatura? Then you know to look at the thermometro, to look at how many grados it is. And the answer, you don't have to say la temperatura actual, the current temperature, es 14 grados. You can just say es 14 grados. Really and truly, you could say 14 grados, or 20 grados, or 43, me quedo adentro. It's 43 and I'm staying inside. Whatever. But yeah, that's another question you might see with the weather at some point. So in general, the phrases that you'll answer ¿Qué tiempo hace? With either are going to start with hace, like the question itself. Hace frío, it's cold. To a lot of these you can add mucho. Hace mucho frío, it's very cold, it's quite cold, it's considerably cold. Hace fresco, it's chilly or it's cool. Necesito un suéter? Do I need a sweater? Pues hace fresco. Well, it's cool. You might want one. Hace fresco. You really wouldn't say hace mucho fresco. It's very cool. Like if it's very cool, then it's cold. Hace frío. So say what you mean. But if you wanted to add it in the middle, if it makes sense to you, then I guess you can add it. But it doesn't make sense. Hace calor. It's hot. Hace mucho calor. It's very hot. Hace calor. Hace sol. It's sunny. Hace mucho sol. It's quite sunny. It's very sunny. Bring your gafas de sol. Hace sol. Hace calor. Hace fresco. Hace frío. Hace viento. It is windy. Hace viento. If it's very windy, if it's quite windy, hace mucho viento. Now with these you have already a basic set. Hace viento, 1. Hace sol, 2. Hace calor, 3. Hace fresco, 4. Hace frío, 5. 5 very nice answers to talk about the weather. People will know, oh, do I need a jacket or a coat or maybe just a little sweater? Do I need a hat and a fan? Do I need sunglasses, sunblock? Do I need, what do you bring when it's windy? I don't bring a hat. I'll tell you that much when it's windy. I don't bring a hat porque no vale la pena. It's not worth it. It just gets blown away. You might, however, want to know if you're going to need a paraguas, if you're going to need an umbrella, or something along those lines. So, frases de una palabra, de una sola palabra, answers that are usually just one singular verb. Llueve, it's raining. Llueve. If you've seen the lesson on the consonants, you know that may, depending on your accent, that might be llueve, 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 probably something else that I don't even know about. But llueve, it's raining. If it's raining, cántaros, if it's raining like cats and dogs, buckets, you can say llueve mucho. You don't have to. There are other ways of expressing it. We have phrases like it's raining cats and dogs in English as well. But for the beginning, llueve. Basta, it's enough. Llovizna, I don't know a good word for this in English. Llovizna is when I guess it's technically rain. Liquid water is falling from the sky, but the droplets are so tiny. You might just look out and see what looks like a mist or a fog. And you say, it's not raining, it's just foggy. And then you go outside and you realize, oh no, water is falling on me. It's raining. It's the really, really tiny droplets. Llovizna. I've translated that as it's spitting or it's crying, but we don't really have a good word for it in English. Que yo sepa, as far as I know. Nieva, it's snowing. This one I forget sometimes because I'm from Florida, so it doesn't snow there. No nieva en la Florida. Así que, pero, es posible que van a necesitar esta palabra. Maybe you're going to be up in the mountains. Maybe you're going to be up in the Andes. Maybe you're going to be in, the mountains of central Mexico where it can get quite cold. And maybe it will happen. Maybe you'll need to say nieva. Oh, nieva. Or even nieva mucho. It's snowing a lot. Graniza, I hope you don't need this one. It's hailing. Those big chunks of ice are falling from the sky. Graniza. As far as I'm concerned, si graniza un poco, ya graniza mucho. If it's hailing a little bit, it's already hailing a lot. That's already too much. But I guess you could add mucho to that. It makes as much sense as anything. But hopefully that will not be something you will need often or experience much. You're fine with the first 5 plus llueve and nieva makes 7. Llovizna's a good word to know, but you don't really urgently need to know it. You can just say llueve, exaggerate a little. It's raining. It's not really rain in Spanish, but vaya, funciona. Graniza, it's hailing. I hope you don't need that one. Frases con está, to expand a little bit. Está lloviendo is another way of saying it's raining, but with a difference. When you say llueve, you might mean in general. En la primavera llueve. In spring it rains. Por la tarde llueve mucho. In the afternoon it rains a lot. Hoy llueve. Today it's raining. Maybe not right at this moment, but today is a rainy day. Hoy llueve. Fine, it works. But here you mean está lloviendo, like it's raining right now. Like I'm looking out the window, I'm seeing it. Do not forget your umbrella because it's raining right at this moment. Está lloviznando, it's the same thing as llovizna, it's just doing it right now. Está nevando, it's snowing right now. Está nevando mucho, it's snowing a lot right now. Fine. When you use one of these verb forms that end in yendo or ando, and we'll talk about this when we get into grammar at some point, you'll see, that it's for things happening right now. It's not like in English. In English, when you say it's raining tomorrow, it's fine, it works. It's raining right now, but I think it'll stop later. It's raining a lot this season. Okay, it's different in Spanish. Spanish is just for lo que pasa ahora mismo. Lo que está pasando, what's happening now. So, está lloviendo, está nevando. You might need these. I hope you don't need está granizando, but it might come up. Puede ser, puede ser. Está nublado. Now, this just means it's cloudy. That's not I guess it's technically a verb form, but it's not actively a verb form here. You're just looking at the sky and describing it. Está nublado. Here, finally, we get the real word for very. Está muy nublado, because this is acting as an adjective. See why I told you not to worry about why the things are what they are, just memorize them? Está nublado, it's cloudy. Está muy nublado, it's very cloudy. If you replace it with parcialmente, guess what? Partially cloudy. Está parcialmente nublado. Sí se puede. So, and you can also have está soleado. Means the same thing as hace sol. The difference is here, you're describing like the current weather. With hace sol, you could say, oh, en las islas, en la primavera, hace sol. In the islands, in the spring, it's sunny. Like in general. Here you're probably describing something that you're looking at. Está soleado. You're describing the current weather. Está muy soleado. It's very sunny. I need my glasses. I can't see. And then there's a whole bunch of combinations that you can make with the word hay. There is or there are. Hay viento. There's wind. You look out, you see the trees are moving, you see leaves are flying. Hay viento. You look out at the sky and you see clouds. Maybe you wouldn't say, oh, está nublado. Maybe you just see some clouds. You say, oh, hay nubes. There's clouds. Hay lluvia. Maybe it's not raining where you are. Where I grew up, you can see the rain off in the distance as it's coming towards you. So you can look out and see it and say, oh, hay lluvia. There's rain. It's not here yet, maybe. Or maybe it is. It's fine to say hay lluvia when you look outside and everything is wet. That works. It's common to say está lloviendo or llueve, but it's not wrong to say hay lluvia. Hay nieve. Maybe it's already fallen. Maybe it's not, nevando right at this moment. You look out and you get excited. You say, hay nieve. Nunca hay nieve. There's never snow. Let's go play. Hay neblina. Fog. Neblina. Or niebla. Another word for fog. Hay niebla. Hay neblina. For me, that would be exciting. I don't see a lot of fog. Hay relámpagos. There's flashes of lightning. There's lightning strikes. Hay relámpagos. That's less exciting when you're from Florida because you see it like every day. You never have one. If you just, see one, I guess you could say hay un relámpago. But if you see one, there's 5 others that you haven't seen, and there's more coming any second. Hopefully you won't need to say hay un tornado. Maybe you'll see it on the news and you'll say hay un tornado. Or maybe you're just exaggerating. Or maybe there's a bunch. Maybe you live in Oklahoma, North Texas, and there's 5 at once. Hay tornados. ¡Qué horror! Hay tornados. Let's go and hide. Hay un huracán. Let's hope not. But, it does happen. Hay un huracán. Tenemos que irnos. We gotta go. There's a hurricane. Hay huracanes. Hopefully you're not going to have more than one at the same time. That would be really messed up. But maybe you like to exaggerate. No se puede ir a Puerto Rico porque hay huracanes. No, I don't want to go to Puerto Rico because there are hurricanes sometimes. Una tormenta, a storm, nice general word to know. So, like I said, heavy on the vocabulary list. Tormenta, huracán, huracanes, tornado, tornados, relámpagos, niebla, neblina, nieve, lluvia, nubes, viento. All of those are nouns. All of those are things. You can use them all with I. Other words you can use with I as well. If you want to tell someone there's ice cream, I. And then helado, the word for ice cream. Hay helado. Don't say that unless you're offering ice cream. Don't want to tease people. Está soleado. Está nublado. Está granizando, like right now. Está nevando, like right now. Está lloviznando, right now. Está lloviendo, actualmente, at present. Graniza, nieva, llovizna, llueve. Important words to know, especially llueve and maybe nieva. Maybe you live someplace where it never, nieva, but maybe you'll still see it on your Spanish test. So, be aware of it. Hace viento, hace sol, hace calor, hace fresco, hace frío. All of those are answers to ¿Qué tiempo hace? So don't worry about what each individual word means. We talked about it a lot for the vocabulario, especially the things that are different from English. Tiempo, notably weather, but also time. So when someone asks about el tiempo que hace, the time that makes, the time that does, it doesn't translate, literally in a way that makes sense. But this person is asking about the weather. Person is not asking if I have time for something. Person is asking about the weather. Pues hasta luego, buena suerte, chao.